We had spent arguably hundreds of thousands of dollars on P&K and trying to put that down in variable rate, being very meticulous about where we put it, how we put it. And I really was seeing no changes in soil test values. I've learned that there was a very logical reason as to why that was happening now, but I really wasn't seeing any change. And so after 3 years of that, at the time in which we met, you helped me realize that, okay, I need to address this in a different way.
I've been working with GR Farms for almost 8 years now. Greg and I were making a drive across the territory, and I thought, well, let's just try to stop in and catch Garrett.
I had never been presented with a company that had the philosophy of a systems approach like what Ag Spectrum has. That was a foreign concept to me, but that was a concept that I truly believed in. I just didn't know it existed. And so understanding what Ag Spectrum does to really prepare the farmer before we even put a plan in place as far as fertility plan, and then take me all the way through to after we can digest yield reports, that's A to Z really.
Everyone on board is what helped really successfully implemented this change for Garrett, because it went from wanting to trade his planter in, and he wanted to do something with liquid fertilizer, but had no idea how to go about it. So I was really new at the game, so that's where all the expertise and the support from the company level came in.
When we started talking about the planter and what we need to be able to do with the planter, he mentioned that he was going to buy a new planter. So then when I started explaining what was going to be needed to get the maximum farming system going, he realized that what he was looking at wasn't going to be the solution. And so after our meeting was over, I went online and just started looking what's available for used planters. And we found a John Deere 16-row that had the pump and the colders and everything that he needed, which made it a lot easier for him to get set up.
So Garrett was refreshing from the aspect that he was looking for answers. He was willing to listen to leadership. He wanted to get better, and he just flat out committed. When he learned enough about the system and what we were doing, he had a lot of questions, but when he committed to the system, he committed to the system. He was willing to purchase a planter. He had a planter that was a split planter, and so he left that set up for soybeans and ended up buying a used John Deere planter just for corn, and was willing to commit that planter to just setting it up exactly the way we wanted to set it up, and put technology on it too that was going to make his life easier. Besides setting the planter up, he was also willing to make sure he had on-farm storage, because he didn't want to be without that, and also his nurse units, that they would be efficient in what he wanted, so that he could not lose acres planting in a day. And that was something that I encouraged him in the beginning, and I do with everybody, is you don't have to lose acres in planting. If you have an X amount of acres you want to plant in a day, you set the planter and your nursing system and your on-farm storage up to meet that demand.
Understanding then next how to create my farm so that any of my guys helping me were able to understand, what product goes where, how do we shuffle it from point A to point B and actually get it to the field without, slowing the planter down at a snail's pace.
The other thing I think that made Garrett very successful adopting the maximum farming system is getting buy-in from the guys that are helping him. This isn't just Garrett and Kara's farm. It is their farm, but there's other people involved that have to pull this off, and Garrett makes sure that everybody understands it. His guys that are working with him during the planting season are sitting in the meetings with us.
The more outside of mainstream the concept is, we all have trouble grasping that new idea. It's just human nature. And if we're a part of a team, we are obligated to help the team that we're working with understand why we're making this abnormal move. And if they don't understand it, then give them some more information. And if they still don't understand it, then just ask them politely to play the game with you. There are a number of ways to get ownership and getting people to onboard with you, because it is not the easiest there ever was. I mean, if it was easy, everyone would do it, I like to say. And having ownership of your team, understanding that we're using this product to help, gain us a couple weeks in germination. We really need this product because it will help save us, P&K and blanket applications. And as long as they understand the holistic approach, I think you'll mainly get buy-in from everyone. We're trying to gain profitability for this farm, which should help everyone involved. It's been said that the Ag Spectrum system is a good weatherproof, and I think this year's no better sign to me that anything we put on this crop, yeah, we want it to hammer down and put the pedal to the metal and really make those racehorses run. But in my area of West Central Missouri, I would put more stock in a product that helped me avoid stress, because I typically am trying to ward off stress more days than I'm trying to hammer down and blow past the finish line. It's a fact that in a competitive situation like commodity production is, if you're not trending in yields with your neighbors, eventually they will accumulate wealth and be able to overcome you on rent, land purchase, efficiencies and whatnot. It is a commodity business and it is competitive. And so it's my obligation to my family to be competitive. I still am very confident that the efficiencies that this system gives me allows quite the low cost of production, and I can sleep really well at night knowing that the man upstairs knows that I'm taking care of the land as best as I'm able. Yeah. And that stewardship component is just something that I believe in.